So I'm back again. So, as I've discussed already, the mystery of this doctor. Who are they, and what's with the blue box? Well, I've already discussed things around that, sightings and what have you. But do you know that sometimes people that have been believed to have encounters with this doctor have gone missing? Yes, missing. People have been reported missing for a long time, and sometimes they disappear and they're gone for good, or sometimes they disappear and come back with no memory or anything. But people that have gone missing, claiming to have been somewhere, sometimes it doesn't add up. As I've already said before previously, 1963, two teachers, science teacher Ian Chesterton and history teacher Barbara Wright, were keeping an eye on one of their students, and they were last seen going into the junkyard, 76 Totters Lane, and they were never heard or seen from again. Very strange. But what was strange is that they reappeared 2 years later in 1965, never explained where they had been or where they were, but I guess that's them. They might have seen or done something very traumatic, who knows? Of course, Barbara is deceased now, but Ian is still alive and I believe attends a group of people that, I don't know, seem to have something in common with him. But anyway, they also had a student called Susan Foreman. All that was said about her from her people that knew her was she was very intelligent but very bizarre behaving. But there are no records of her existence, no birth certificates, no nothing. Who was she? And who was her grandfather, who she said she lived with? Of course, a few other young people disappeared and reappeared throughout the 60s, like one called Ben and then Dodo and stuff. But then there was this woman who did an interview in the 90s named Victoria Waterfield. She claimed that she was born 150 years prior. Now, if that was so, she would have to be a Victorian woman and have to be well over 100 years old. But how is that so? Bizarrely, there was a record, a birth certificate of a Victoria Waterfield found in the Victorian age, which adds up to where she said she was born. Could she be her or the same person, or could it be pure coincidence? Could she be some distant relative? No one seems to know. I don't know. Then, of course, there are some other people that have travelled on strange adventures but never really explained where they've been, like Josephine Grant, now married and became Joan Jones. Joe Jones and Sarah Jane Smith. Now, she is an odd one, and I will talk about her at some point because I'm probably not going to be able to discuss it in one full video like this. 1981, Tegan Javanka, a young, promising air hostess. She disappeared in 1981 with her aunt, Vanessa, who is believed to be dead. She did reappear, though, Tegan, sometime later, and then was last seen in Amsterdam in 1983. And then she was found in 1984 in London, distressed and upset, saying that it stopped being fun. Never really fully told anybody about what she saw, what happened, or where she was. And yeah, she now works with other things and stuff, you know. She's still alive and well. Then there was a young woman named Perry Brown, a young American student who was last seen in Lanzarote in 1984 and disappeared. She was seen somewhere around a year or so later in 1985 in the streets of London with a strange man in a very odd coloured coat. Could that man be the doctor as well? Hmm, could be. After all, they did see them come out of the junkyard Totters Lane, and one person walking past claims that they saw the blue box again, and then it turned into an organ. No one believed them, of course, but strange things have gone on in that junkyard. Who knows? Maybe they did see the blue box turn into an organ. I don't know. Then there were cases in 1989 where people were disappearing and then they all reappeared. Some of them talking about cheated people or something. I don't know. Then, of course, there was an incident on Millennium Eve 1999 where the blue box was seen in an alleyway and a man stepped out, was gunned down in a crossfire during the war, a gang war that is. But no one ever saw that man again when he was taken into the hospital. It was a John Doe. According to a night porter, he said that when he put the body in the freezer in the morgue, he was a dead old man. But then later that night, a young man wrapped up in the blankets was there and he passed out. Of course, the body of the previous guy was never found, or was the body, but he changed into a new person. Again, theorizing, could that be the doctor? Who knows that? Then, of course, there was the Rose Tyler case. 2005. Not long after some incident with window shot dummies in the London area, she disappeared off the faces of the earth. Her boyfriend at the time, Mickey Smith, was taken in for questioning a number of times, but never found or proved anything. However, a year later in 2006, she did return home with a strange man in a battered leather jacket, according to some eyewitnesses. Now, that's another thing too. People in that estate claim that there was a blue box there one minute and then the next minute there wasn't. One young boy got told off by this man who was in the box for vandalising it, spraying Bad Wolf. Were a popular phase that were back then in London. What was that? Bad Wolf. Then, of course, there were other cases of disappearances. Of course, sometime later, Rose Tyler was on the list of the dead in the Battle of Canary Wharf, another strange event, which, again, I'll get to the strange stuff, the strange things. But right now I'm talking about the missing. In 2007, there was a group of people, just some friends that formed this group called London Investigation and Detective Agency, Linda for short, who were seeking the doctor. Did they ever find him? We don't really know, but the whereabouts of that group are unknown, except for one of them, Elton Pope, who refuses to give any interviews or address anyone about anything of what happened to them. Could there have been some alien activity involved? Who knows? Who knows about that? Then there was a married couple. Now, Amelia Pond, or Amy as everyone called her. When she was a little girl, she claimed that a man in a blue box crashed in her backyard and befriended her. Now, people thought she was just a bit loopy, a bit mad, but she made raggedy dolls of this doctor and this blue box. People claim that a blue box randomly appeared in her wedding reception and this raggedy man came out of it. Also, eventually, after 14 years, she married a lover named Rory Williams, who, on the night of their wedding, vanished. Well, I like to think they went on a honeymoon somewhere. But then the last these two couple were ever seen was in New York in 2012. Then they were gone. However, there are tombstones of them both that have their names. Could that just be another couple with the same name? People say that there were lookalikes of them in the 1930s. What was all that about? Then we come to another one. Ms. Clara Oswald. An English teacher as a profession. Of course, there are a few other sightings of a woman that look just like her as well throughout history. She was, as I said, an English teacher who hung around with this odd man. Anyway, she formed a relationship with a co-worker named Danny Pink. He tragically was killed in a car accident in 2014, which was sad and unfortunate, but that was just, as I said, a tragic accident. In 2015, though, Clara just disappeared off the face of the earth. Never to be seen or heard from again. The last she was ever seen was walking into some alleyway and she was gone for good. Very bizarre case. Her family to this day have no closure on where she's been or what happened to her. Then there was 2017. Student Bill Potts, who also worked in the cafe of that university to earn a bit extra money. Her foster mother claims that her lecturer, something was a bit off about him, a strange Scotsman. But one night in 2017, she went missing and was never to be seen again. Also around that time, a young woman named Heather, who people say they saw them both together, and for all we know, they could have formed a relationship. She too disappeared and was never to be seen again. It's a big mystery, that. Some people go missing and they disappear for good. Some, they come back. But what's all that about with them? Where do those who come back really go when they say they've been? Could they be travelling with this doctor? Could they be becoming companions of his? And this isn't something that's just happened in the 21st century. Yeah, according to an institute from Torchwood, they say the 21st century is when everything changes and we got to be ready. I'm ready. But yes, those who would come back, where were they during those absences? I have an idea that they could have been with the doctor. And like I say, this doctor time travels. I know it's far-fetched, you're thinking time travel's science fiction, but come on, with these strange things that have been occurring throughout the years, photos and creatures in that scene, I believe time travel is possible. I know it. I know time travel is real, as well as aliens. We all know aliens are real. Of course, time travel is real. And there's been strange things going on throughout history and in the present day as we have spoken. Time check. This watch, family heirloom, been in the family for thousands of years. It's an old relic, yes. Anyway, I best go.